What does it mean that you're considering leaving the admin role? Does it mean you don't love your job, or your managers, or your colleagues, or your company? Reframing the question may give you some freedom to authentically explore your professional needs and your career priorities. That's what today's episode is about. Hopefully, after the episode, you feel more confident declaring what you're up to in your career, whatever your goal. So let's get to it. Welcome to the channel, episode 5 of the Admin No More show. My name is Tanya Finks, and I help high-performing rockstar admins like you transition to the non-admin career of your dreams without burning bridges or spinning your wheels. Today's episode is all about how to manage your career and your relationships so that you can navigate a career change without burning bridges. If you find this content useful, then give it a thumbs up, which helps the channel grow. And if you have admins in your life who would benefit from this content, please do share it. You could change a life. In some corporate organizations, prospective internal candidates can request an informational interview with a hiring manager for an open role without informing their current managers. But if they want to apply for the role, then they need to notify their managers of their intent. Assistants especially are often really grateful for this nuance, and I can totally understand why. Many assistants completely welcome the opportunity to learn more about a role without having to take the hit to the trust with their managers that inevitably comes from declaring their interest in pursuing something different. I know it can feel scary, but when I approached my managers about my desire to transition to another role for the first time more than 2 decades ago, I was surprised to learn that they were not only supportive, but they shared ideas about what I could potentially do next. Career development and career advancement seems to be so complicated for administrative professionals for so many reasons. One of those reasons is the unique partnership that develops between a manager and their trusted admin. There can be a loyalty on the part of the admin and a conflict on the part of the manager who wants the best for their admin, but who also doesn't want any impact to their own productivity. That tension can create an awkwardness and communication barrier that can make career development conversations difficult to approach and navigate. So how do you navigate the challenge as a high-performing admin, either thinking about exploring a career change or actively exploring a potential career change? Here are 5 tips for managing your career and your relationships in a way that gives you the freedom to go for what you want. Number 1, take the lead on your own development. You are in the driver's seat of your career, whether or not you currently have your hands on the wheel. Whether you take control or not, you are the only one driving your career. So if you don't drive, then you're not going to get anywhere. I remember a development conversation years ago with a high-performing admin who was disappointed no one had tapped her on the shoulder for an opportunity yet. She expected that if she did a good job, someone would notice and would recommend her for an opportunity. I'm not saying that never happens, but I am saying that's not generally how business works. If you want more or different for yourself, you've got to be looking out for your opportunities. You've got to have conversations and make your desires known. You've got to have some thoughts about what you want to do. You've got to drive the car. For your mid-year and year-end or ongoing performance discussions, prepare your thoughts about your career development. Make sure it stays top of mind. Take yourself seriously. Drive the car. Number 2, engage your managers for support and guidance. Your managers work most closely with you. If you've established more of a business partnership than a transactional exchange, then they likely have a sense for how you think and some of your strengths. Your managers may not be versed in the unique intricacies of navigating your way out of an admin role, but they may have a strong belief in your potential and a willingness to advocate for you. A word of caution, I have seen this go awry. When a manager uses their influence to get you the job, rather than using it to get you the interview, the result can be a complete derailment. I've definitely seen that happen. One of the challenges admins face is the hiring team being willing to see you as anything other than support. Your manager can be effective in getting you in the room, getting you the opportunity to compete for the role. Then you can make your case and let the chips land where they may. In my admin career, I interviewed for a peer admin supervisor role in another business unit. I didn't get the job because they rightly promoted from within their business unit, but it got me on the HR business partner's radar. And when another business group he was responsible for had an opening, he suggested they consider me for the role, and I ultimately got that job. Aside from the advocacy, your managers may have a better developed understanding of the different functions and departments in your organization and can make recommendations about what you should consider. I talked about the tension of wanting what's best for you, but also not wanting their productivity to be impacted. One way to tilt the balance is to ask them for help. Human beings are generally driven to contribute to others. If you engage their wisdom and advice, if you've been a good partner, they're going to want to help and they're going to want you to be successful. Get them on your team by genuinely, authentically leveraging their wisdom. When I was an admin, I witnessed a colleague who managed these tips together masterfully. She knew there was a different contribution she wanted to make. During her time as an admin, she was particularly good at working with Excel, and she really enjoyed it. She kept her managers updated on her development interests, what she was learning and pursuing, and that she expected to be intellectually engaged with her work. As her interest in technology grew and her intellectual engagement with her admin work hit a plateau, she kept them informed. She gave them opportunities to challenge her, but that work just wasn't available. She ultimately transitioned into a technology training role, and today is the senior manager responsible for the technology team globally. Drive your own development and engage your managers as allies and advisors or mentors. Does this resonate with you? Leave a comment below if you think your managers have the potential to be your greatest ally in your career journey. Or do you fear they'll hold you back? Let me know in the comments. If you're not sure whether you're ready for a change, then I encourage you to take the Career Clarity Assistant Career Assessment. I created the assessment to encourage admins to consider a number of factors and key indicators of job satisfaction and career alignment. This assessment is intended for you to take an honest look at where you are and give you some recommendations for next steps. You can check it out at adminnomore.com/5. Okay, tip number 3. Start the conversation long before you're fed up with your role. It's hardest to get a job when you're desperate. No matter how toxic or limiting your current role or department, I promise you, if you disclose it during an interview, it will sound like your failure. Making a career change can take time, especially from an executive assistant role. So you want to start early so you don't get to that desperate place, and you want to start vocalizing it early. Plus, if you want to give yourself the opportunity to make a thoughtful career change, you'll want to give yourself time to explore your interests and figure out where you want to go. Additionally, starting the conversation early gives you the opportunity to demonstrate that you're not jumping ship, that you still care, that you've still got your managers and your teams back. You're giving people the opportunity to get on board, to shift how they see you, and to root for you. Tip number 4, be a great teammate. How you get to where you're going matters. There can be a pull to either stay amongst the crowd or rise above it. And it can feel like rising above the crowd can ruffle feathers or damage relationships. The reality is, you don't have to be in competition with your peers in order to accomplish your goals. What is meant for you will be for you. Trust the process, and in the meantime, continue to nurture your relationships with your colleagues. Keep the attitude that a rising tide lifts all boats. Don't try to be better than others. Work to make your entire team better, because when your team is successful, you are successful. And then you have great examples of how you work productively with others. Your team won't envy you and won't want to tear you down if you inspire them with hard work and effective collaboration. And number 5, deliver excellence. Great performance is the solution to a lot of potential concerns or issues when attempting to navigate a career change. Great performance allays fears that you'll be disengaged and distracted because you're interested in career advancement. Great performance engenders goodwill and allegiance, which will be helpful when you're ready for guidance or advocacy. Great performance prepares you for the next step in your career by helping you establish your brand, by creating positive momentum, and by hopefully creating additional examples for your interview response inventory. Great performance is the foundation of everything. It's how you're fondly remembered. It's how you build the bridge instead of burning it. If you're wondering if you're ready for a career change, don't forget to check out the Career Clarity Assistant Career Assessment. It will help you evaluate your experience of your career thus far and determine whether you're on the right path or if you should consider exploring something new. You can access it by going to adminknowmore.com/5. The admin question this week is how she can apply what she's learning about change management to her admin role. If you don't know, change management focuses on how to help people engage, adopt, and use a change in their day-to-day work. For a little context, this is an experienced and highly successful executive assistant. She has opportunities to develop informal leadership skills and to work on various projects on behalf of her team. As part of her project work, one of her mentors suggested she learn about change management. So she's been taking courses and really enjoys it. She's made it clear that she's not looking to leave her admin role, which we'll revisit in another video, but wants to understand how she can apply what she's learning in her admin role. I gave her a couple suggestions. First, she participates as the admin coordinator for a large diversity and inclusion initiative. She's done great work, and the committee encourages her to get her thoughts in the room. I highlighted that project as a great opportunity to start applying what she's learning in her change management studies. Additionally, the managers she supports are constantly leading different initiatives as part of their day-to-day work. So I highlighted for her that she can be helping them identify opportunities to bring others along and manage the communication around their different initiatives. They value her input and invite her to committee meetings so that she can help them be more efficient and effective. It's a perfect opportunity for her to apply what she's learning in a way that brings value to her managers and her organization. If you found this episode intriguing, but you're not sure you want to make a change and you're not sure why, I encourage you to check out this video here about the 10 fears that might be keeping you stuck in your admin role. I hope you got so much value out of this episode. If you did, make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss an episode. Share the episode with other admins in your life you think might find it compelling. And please like the episode and leave a comment below and let me know what you found valuable. I'm on a mission to help organizations better leverage the admin talent they're bringing in the door and to help admins leverage their career success toward greater career opportunity. Remember, you're awesome, my friend, and you deserve good things. I'll see you next week.